Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. It is once again a pretty decent day here in Saskatchewan. Actually, we don't really have much for snow, and I am hoping for a brown Christmas. That would be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, enough of the weather forecast. Today we're going to have a look at what the internet seems to have a lot of lately, and that is 2024 Harley rumors, as well as we're going to look at the paint. So let's get at her. So firstly, let's look at colors. Now, a YouTube channel called Riding in the Ozarks had a color list leaked to him for, anyway, US colors anyway. And a couple of things of note were that two models, I believe, are left off the list, which we'll maybe get to a little bit later. And but there's other things of note. For example, more colors, different colors for the Sportster S, the Nightster, and the Pan America. Now, the bikes that seem to have the most amount of color options were the Street Glides and the Road Glides, which should give you a little idea of, you know, which bikes Harley is looking at moving. Now, for us Fat Boy fans out there, the colors for 2024 are Billiard Gray, Red Rock, Sharkskin Blue, and Vivid Black. So nothing too exciting there, and I note it didn't look like there was any two-tone paint in that as well. Now, as I own a Lowrider S, the color options for those are basically the same. I think they're exactly the same, basically gray, red, blue, and black as per usual. Now, there's been quite a few pictures and videos out there of the new 2024 models out there where people are showing off the new paint. And to be honest with you, I find them to be fairly bland. I'm not too sure what to think about the red. Depending on the light, it almost looks like a blackish red, a brownish red. It's hard to say until I see it in person. However, looking at what they're calling Sharkskin Blue, if the pictures are anything of what it actually looks like, to me it looks terrible. It looks like powder blue. It actually looks like this. Actually, I'll put a picture up. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not impressed at all. But if anybody wants to see the entire list of colors, you can go to Riding in the Ozarks and have a look at his video. He talks about them all. Now, while still on the issue of color, it looks like Harley may be making gray the new black. In other words, looking at making gray to be the new base color. Now, I'm not going to get into why they might be doing that, other than maybe they think that we can actually charge more for black. More people want black, so we're going to make them pay for it. I don't know, but that's the way it looks like, is that the gray will be the new black base color. Now, again, for us Fat Boy fans out there, haven't heard anything about anything new coming up with the Fat Boy. I imagine it will stay exactly the same, other than the paint. I have had a couple people ask, well, would they put a 117 in it? I think they will put a 117 into the Fat Boy, just not this year. Next year, I believe, will be the Fat Boy's 35th anniversary. I would imagine if they're going to put a 117 in there, they would do that in 2025. That being for the anniversary edition. Maybe they'll come up with something along the lines that they did in 2020 with an anniversary edition. So I don't expect to see anything new with the Fat Boy at all this year, except for those paint options, which I'm not a big fan of at this point. Now, I believe the two models that were left off the color list, if I am correct, were the Fat Bob and the Ultra. So why is that? Well, one of two things, I guess. You could either be saying that they're getting cut or they are getting some sort of possible upgrade. I don't know that they would cut them. Hard to say about that. Maybe they'll go with putting a 117 into them. Not sure. If they were going to actually cut one of them, I would assume it would be the Fat Bob, just because Harley seems to bank a lot on their touring models. but I obviously could be wrong, but we'll see where they go from there. But for right now, they didn't seem to be on that color list, so we might expect some sort of change to them. Now, engine-wise, there's been a few things that have been floating around that some of these bikes, the 114s, the 117s, might get the variable valve timing in their engines that the new CVOs had. Hard to say. That is entirely possible. The other thing I'd heard is maybe a couple models will get the 121 engine. Now, that I don't think will happen. I think that Harley will keep that 121 engine, you know, to the CVO models just to keep them somewhat exclusive. They'll eventually trickle down into the production models for sure in the next couple of years. But for now, I think they'll keep the 121s just in those CVOs. So something else I've heard a little bit about is that Harley may actually bring out the Bronx, the mythical motorcycle that was supposed to come out earlier, got canceled. It was actually a bigger rumor last year because Harley had applied for a trademark to the Bronx name. Hard to say whether that'll happen. Some people say it will. And it was supposed to have the 975 Revolution Max engine in it, the same one that would be in the Nightster. Now, having said that, there is also rumors last year about a Pan America 975 coming out. That's another rumor. It could be coming out this year. That one I'm not too sure about, but I guess we will see as we go along. Another rumor out there is that Harley will get rid of their surcharge this year. When you buy a new motorcycle, Harley started adding a surcharge, and depending on where you're from, it could be $500 to $600. If Harley gets rid of that, that'd be great for us. I'm assuming the reason was to boost their numbers up, especially, you know, with COVID, post-COVID, all that. But we will see what happens. Hopefully, Harley gets rid of that, but if they do, you can expect them to probably add on a little more somewhere else. Now, this one was an interesting one, and I watched a video from Throttle Blip, and he has he's got an in with the dealership, put it that way. And he didn't want to come out and say exactly what he knew, but it sounded like there will be a new CVO coming out this year, and not one we will suspect. He said it was going to be performance-based, and after that, he showed basically some footage of the King of the Baggers race. So I guess the question would be, what kind of CVO is it? If he's showing that, saying it's performance-based, showing King of the Baggers, can we expect a CVO like a King of the Baggers bike? A very stripped-down, high-performance bagger? Could that be a new CVO? So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't heard much else in the way of rumors for 2024. If you guys have heard anything, please let me know in the comments, because I'd be interested to see what all the rumors are and what actually happens, because it's hard to say with Harley. They could come out with a new Icon model sometime in the summer. Hard to say. I haven't really heard much about too many returning models. Other than that, my guess is as good as yours. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll catch you in the next one.